Okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Faris Aiman bin Mohamad. My ID number is TB19021. Okay. For today, I will presenting my project simulation of speed control of separately DC motor. Okay. Okay. Before we start the simulation, I want to show the ratings of the DC motor. Okay, for the maximum field voltage is 220 volts, and the maximum of the armature voltage is 440 volt, and the capacity of the power is 5 horsepower, and the DC field current maximum is 2.3 ampere, and the maximum of armature current is 9.5 ampere, and the rated speed is between 1,500 to 2,000 RPM. Okay, okay. As we can, okay. Before I forget, they have some precaution that must be aware in conducting this experiment. First, the speed should be adjusted to rated speed which does not exceed to 2,000 RPM to avoid occur in running the motor. Next, after doing this simulation, the window tab of laptop must be closed to avoid the problem in running the window. You can see for this circuit, it is the feed circuit, and this is the armature circuit. So this is the feed voltage supply, and this is armature voltage supply. Okay, for the first experiment is the armature control method. So before we start, we need to close the switch of the circuit first. Okay. The value of the fixed voltage to fix that I choose is 100 volt. So we click to 100 volts. Okay. Then the starting value of the armature voltage that I choose is 100 volts. So we can see if we fix the value of the fixed voltage, so it gives the field winding current that's 1.04 ampere. So we start to store the data first, and then we increase the value of the armature voltage to 100 volt to 200 volt as to get the 10 value of the difference voltage. So we increase by 10 volts and store data. Okay, after we get the 10 value of the armature voltage, so we click the button show data to see the data first. Okay. Next, by change the value of feed voltage, I increase to 150 volts. Okay, so we start the data first. We start to store data first, and then we repeat the previous step to increase the value of the armature voltage to 300 by increase by 10 volts and store the data. Okay, after we got the 10 value of the reverse voltage, we show the data and see the data to get the value first. Okay, then we continue by the last feed value of feed voltage by increase to 200 volts. Okay, then we start to store data, and then we increase the value of the armature voltage to 400 volts by increase by 10. Store the data. As you can see, if we increase the armature voltage, the speed also increase. So after we store the data and we show the data, okay, after that, we can see the graph of this armature voltage vs speed by click this button. Okay, we can see the field voltage against speed is directly proportional, and for the my field winding current also. Okay, after that, we move to the field control method. Okay, by we set this simulation. Okay, we drag this. Okay, first we switch off the circuit. Okay, then for the feed control method, we need to fix the value of the armature voltage and control the feed voltage. Okay, for the feed voltage, I need to starting the point value uh, for the 50. Okay, so for the fixed value of the armature voltage, I choose 200 volts. Okay, okay, for the field winding current, it keeps 0.52 ampere and armature currents 1.38 ampere. Okay, after that, we start store data first. Okay, uh, then we increase the value of the feed voltage to 10 value by increase by 5 volts. Okay, first 95. Okay, so we get all the 10 values, we show the data. Okay, okay, next by change the fixed value of the armature voltage to 300 volts. Okay. Okay. We store the data first and then increase the value of the feed voltage by 5 volts to 150 volts. Okay, we set data. Okay, so we get 10 values. We show the data first to see the recorded results. Okay, next we continue by change the value of the armature voltage to 400 volts. Increase. Okay. We start the store data first. Okay, we increase the value of the feed voltage to 200 volts. Okay, we can see the speed of the motor will increase by will decrease by increase the value of the feed voltage. Okay, so that we show the data. So this is all the results that recorded for the feed control method. So we select the feed voltage uh, against speed graph and click this button to see the pattern of the graph. So we can see the feed voltage is inversely proportional with the speed. Okay, for the armature voltage against speed. Okay, okay. After that, to close the simulation, we need to reset this link to avoid the window of the laptop. Okay, okay. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.